What's going on, guys? Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast. So, obviously, the Phoenix Suns loss on Monday to start the road trip sucked. But that Cleveland Cavaliers loss on Wednesday, well, it sucked even more. Or harder. Ooh, that's what he said. Anyway, today's video is going to be pretty simple and straight to the point. I am entitling this video, "This Can't Keep Happening." Because after the Lakers got their asses royally kicked by the Cleveland Cavaliers on Wednesday, there are three things I noted that I think the Lakers and JJ Redick need to tweak and address sooner rather than later. So I am not panicking yet, I just want to make that clear. The Cleveland Cavaliers loss was the Lakers' first truly disappointing no-effort loss of the season, and it was clear that night that the guys just didn't have it. Guys were turning the ball over left and right, which led to a bajillion transition points for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Lakers were 3 of 18 from 3 through 3 quarters at one point before Dalton Knecht got a little hot in the fourth quarter. LeBron James still looked pretty sick and honestly was one of the worst culprits when it came to taking care of the ball. He was also whiffing a lot of layups left and right. Now, he still ended up with 26 points, but he got most of those points in the third quarter when the Cavs had already seized control of the game. And yeah, terrible turnovers, terrible transition defense, terrible shooting, the Lakers being slow to every 50-50 ball. All of that culminated into the Cleveland Cavaliers absolutely thumping the Lakers on Wednesday night. But having said that, here are three things that are becoming abundantly clear to me this early on in the season that I think need to change. So let's get right into it. Number one, we need to stop letting Austin Reaves point. Or at least stop letting Austin point for as much as we have been. We need to pull back on his usage, his on-ball usage in particular, because this is the second year it seems like we're saying the same thing over and over again, and we keep running into the same problems with Austin Reaves being the primary ball handler. I understand it's early. I understand we want to give him reps to extend him and see and push the boundaries of who Austin Reaves can be, but Austin Reaves is not a point guard. He's a high pick-and-roll scoring guard. You can give him the ball and give him the usage late in games and run him through a bunch of high ball screens with Anthony Davis once you've cleared the floor out for those two. But through the course of a full 48-minute game, please let a real point guard point, because we are running into the same problems we have been running into the last 2 years. Austin Reaves is way too sloppy with the ball and he has way too loose of a handle. It's only been 5 games, but Austin Reaves once again is turning the ball over left and right, getting the ball knocked away. He picks up his dribble far too often and ends up stuck in no man's land, tossing up bad passes. And he simply doesn't have the playmaking vision that a guard like D'Angelo Russell has. Case in point, just watch here as Austin Reaves tries to throw D'Angelo Russell's patented one-handed curve the bullet bounce pass to a cutting LeBron James, and it easily gets picked off, and this is just such a womp-womp record scratch type of moment because it goes nowhere, because only D'Angelo Russell can throw that pass. So please, I know we want to pump Austin with all of the usage that he can get and all of the usage that he can handle, but I just don't think it's a smart thing to do if winning games is our priority. Austin thrives in chaos and in transition, and he thrives as a secondary playmaker next to 1 or 2 other true point guards and ball handlers who can help take the ball pressure off of him. But if he's the sole primary creator, teams can just put length and physicality on him and turn him over. He had another 4 turnovers against the Cleveland Cavaliers and is now averaging 3 turnovers a game this season and just 4.8 assists. It hasn't been pretty, it hasn't been effective, it has actually ground the Lakers' offensive rhythm into a halt, and his turnovers are leading to transition buckets on the other end for the opposing team. So yes, stop letting Austin point as much, especially if LeBron James and D'Angelo Russell are both not on the floor with him. And then when they are on the floor with him, maybe let the better point guards handle the ball. Again, in the fourth quarter, let Austin cook. Having said that, along similar lines, let's move on to my number 2 point. Number 2, we cannot keep using D'Angelo Russell in this way. D'Angelo Russell is stuck in pure limbo right now, not being able to truly find a rhythm for himself. Yes, he's been doing a good job setting other people up and playmaking. He had 5 assists versus the Cleveland Cavaliers and only 0 turnovers. In fact, he was the only starter with 0 turnovers that night. And on the year, D'Angelo Russell is still somehow averaging nearly 6 assists, even though he's had a career low usage percentage up until this point. But a 6 assist D'Angelo Russell who's taking less than 8 shots a game and only scoring 10 points a game, that's not the type of D'Lo that's going to help this team succeed in the long run. And that's not the type of D'Lo we want. Precisely because D'Angelo Russell gives up so much on the defensive end, we need to make sure that if D'Lo is out there on the floor, he is giving us offensive juice on the other end. We need the 18, 19 point D'Angelo Russell who's shooting efficiently that we've got in the last 2 seasons. And in order to get that D'Lo, we need to give him the ball more and let him cook a little bit. JJ and the other guys need to find a way to run him through some high ball screens, allow him to get into a scoring rhythm. Good things happen when we allow D'Angelo Russell to be D'Angelo Russell. He finds AD and he gets the other guys who can't create their own shots involved as well. This team needs D'Angelo Russell to score because their bench scoring is so atrocious. And again, if D'Angelo Russell is going to play 30 to 33 minutes, which he kind of has to on this team because they're so depleted of any actual talent and depth, in order to justify playing him that many minutes, we need to make sure that he's a legitimate offensive threat on the floor to make up for what he gives up on the other end. And right now, he is again just stuck in absolute limbo, unsure of what his role is as a part-time point guard who kind of just runs around out there trying to cut off ball and move the ball around. If this is how we're going to use D'Angelo Russell, then yeah, we need to find a trade for him as soon as possible because this is just very poor utilization of him that isn't helping anyone. It isn't helping D'Angelo Russell, and it isn't helping the team. Even if you want to trade D'Angelo Russell, whoever you eventually trade D'Angelo Russell for, that player should be a better version of D'Angelo Russell, who has more usage, who is more aggressive in scoring. So you need D'Angelo Russell to play back up to his 18.6 assist self on high efficiency so you can once again see what that looks like with Austin Reaves slotted correctly down as the 4th guy or the 3.5 guy. And right now, D'Angelo Russell is operating as the 5th guy, and so we are not getting a proper representation of the appropriate usage slottage of what this team should or could be, even if we get a better player in D'Angelo Russell's place. So how about we unstuck D'Angelo Russell out of limbo and let the Iceman cook a little bit? Otherwise, winter may truly be coming for this team. Alright, so before we get into my third "this can't keep happening" point, I just really wanted to quickly remind you guys to please like this video, comment down below, and most importantly, please give this channel a subscribe. It helps out tremendously. And also, if you're looking to numb the pain of the Lakers losing this upcoming season, do it by winning a little bit of cash with the Underdog Fantasy app. Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. Compete against other players just by selecting higher or lower on 2 or more players' stats, and you could win up to 1,000 times your money. If you're looking for an easy pick for Friday's slate of games, I would point you to LaMelo Ball higher than 23.5 points against the Boston Celtics because LaMelo Ball is swaggy and he's going to want to show out against Jason Tatum. So LaMelo Ball higher than 23.5. Go book that immediately. So place this bet and many others by downloading the Underdog Fantasy app, signing up, and using code LEGACY and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, download the Underdog app and use code LEGACY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Higher or lower, you make the call. Turn every Austin Reaves step back 3 into a step up for your wallet with Underdog. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467369. All right, with that said, let's get into my third This Can't Be Happening point, as well as my interrelated parting thought and call to action for Coach JJ Redick. Number 3, Gabe Vincent and Max Christie cannot both be this bad. And they can't keep playing together. Because these days, not only have they been terrible and huge nothing burgers on the offensive end of the floor, they've also been pretty poor defensively as well. And against the Cleveland Cavaliers, guys were just blowing past them, and I'm not even talking about the Donovan Mitchells of the world, I'm talking about the Ty Jeromes of the world. So if they can't even do the one job they're relied upon to do, then these guys have no business playing as many minutes as they have been. And when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, Max Christie and Gabe Vincent are honestly nearing Jalen Hood-Schifino levels of offensive incompetency. I'm being serious. Max Christie looks so lost out there, and every time he touches the ball, he's so nervous taking 2 or 3 dribbles because he has no idea what he wants to do out there or where he wants to go. And then when it comes to his shot selection, he's just pressing to hit these catch and shoot threes so much that he knows he's expected to hit, but they're not even close. Max Christie played 27 minutes in the Cleveland game and only had 6 points. He was 1 of 6 from the field. You can't play that many minutes and be that offensively deficient. And then Gabe Vincent. My God, I don't even know what he's doing out there offensively, to be honest with you. He's just wildly dribbling around the court as if he were filming his own high school mixtape out there, and then just decides to chuck up a bad pull-up jump shot out of nowhere. What good is he offensively right now? He can't pass, he can't drive into the paint, he's too small to get his shot up against defenders, he turns the ball over a lot because he's not a real point guard. So what can Gabe Vincent do offensively? And then defensively, yes, Gabe Vincent is active and scrappy, but he's just too goddamn small. Guys can easily shoot over him. So then what does that really give you? There are a number of guys around the league, guys like Spencer Dinwiddie, Chris Dunn, unemployed guys like Markelle Fultz, Lonnie Walker, Dennis Smith Jr., all guys who can do whatever it is that Gabe Vincent is currently doing for the Los Angeles Lakers, but at a fraction of the price because Gabe Vincent is making $11 million. And Max Christie is currently making $8 million. So that's $19 million of 3 points per game production from 2 of these guys when you can find veteran minimum guys who can play better than them at the moment. So yeah, it's just a struggle bus watching Max Christie and Gabe Vincent flounder out there on honestly both sides of the court. So yeah, those are my main 3 This Can't Keep Happening points of the day. To close out this video, I do want to leave you guys with one last parting thought, and that parting thought is, folks, it's time. I know you guys hate him. I know you think he's not an NBA player. I don't care. Max Christie and Gabe Vincent are clearly not cutting it, and the Lakers without Jared Vanderbilt are just so clearly in need of size, length, and mobility. So with that said, JJ Redick just needs to turn to his fellow Dookie on the bench and unleash the Reddish. Because if Max and Gabe are going to be this incompetent offensively, like Cam Reddish levels of offensive incompetence, then let's at least turn to the 6'7" wing with the 7'1" wingspan, who's a much better point of attack defender, ball hawk, and screen navigator than both of these guys. And last year, we literally saw Cam Reddish very actively stem the tide for the Lakers defensively in Jared Vanderbilt's absence. And it's because Cam Reddish does the best job approximating Jared Vanderbilt's role as a point of attack defender on this team. In fact, he's an even better screen navigator than Jared Vanderbilt. After Cam Reddish was inserted into the starting lineup last season, the Lakers won 12 out of their next 13 games that Cam Reddish played, including the IST championship game in which he played his best all-around game for the Lakers. And if Cam Reddish is healthy, we know that at the very least, he can turn guys over and ignite our transition game with his active hands and feet. And if JJ Redick isn't going to deploy Cam Reddish in these break glass in case of emergency situations, then what was the point of holding on to Cam Reddish in the offseason anyway? We should have just attached a second-round pick to him to dump him so that we could sign a guy like Taurean Prince on the veteran minimum. So look, I know it's not ideal, and I know Max Christie needs his reps and needs to work through his lumps, but if the Lakers are prioritizing winning games right now, all I'm saying is Cam Reddish needs to get some run here as well, at least until Jared Vanderbilt's back and at least until Max Christie can look like a competent NBA player, because right now he does not look like one of those players. And again, with Cam Reddish, we at the very least know that number one, he's 6'7" and 6'8", and then two, we know that he's going to at least be very disruptive to the opposing team and turn them over. So Coach Reddick, it's code Reddish time. Unleash the Kraken. All right, that'll do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please remember to like this video, comment down below, and most importantly, please hit subscribe. Hopefully the next time we talk, it'll be on the backs of the Lakers building out another small win streak. And yeah, this has been Jonathan Hernandez of the Lakers Legacy Podcast, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.